So I used to say that everything created by God has the capacity or the ability to recreate. All right. I don't believe that there's any human being, created by God who is incapable of creating something. The only challenge most people have, right, is that they've not been educated enough. They've not been given the proper training to be able to utilize their talents, their giftings, right, their abilities to do the things or to create the things that they have, right, the giftings or the talents to do. And so what I advise such people to do is to seek such, education. And when I talk about education, I'm not talking about, just going to the four corners of the university or some formal institution. Anything that enhances your abilities to do things better is education. It doesn't matter where you get it from. It doesn't matter who you get it from. Because actually education is supposed to enhance your abilities to do things better. Your education is supposed to enhance your ability to create. Education is supposed to enhance your ability to manage. In other words, if you are educated, you're supposed to do things better than those who are not. And so any education that denies you of those things, all right, that is not education. It is miseducation. And I can tell you without any fear or doubt that what we have in Africa is actually not education. Because this particular kind of or system of education was handed over to us by those who care less about us, by those who do not want us to progress. So how do you think these guys will give us the kind of education that will help us to create, that will help us to innovate? No, they won't do that. And also, our leaders, who mostly are puppets to these guys, are doing nothing about our curriculums. They are doing nothing about our educational sector. It's not about pumping money into it, right? First of all, what is the foundation of our education? We need to go back to the foundation of our education and begin to ratify things there and begin to ask ourselves, what kind of education do we want for our people? What kind of education will work for our people? What kind of education, right, will bring about the kind of development we want to see? Because your people must be educated in line with what you want to create or want to develop in your country, not what some guy somewhere in the West wants you to do. That is why people are out of school today and they are frustrated. Why? Because it's almost like meaningless and valueless. You are out of school, you can't create jobs, you can't do anything with your certificate. All you can do with your certificate is to look for a job. We should be able to have a kind of education or educational system that will make you a creator of jobs, not a seeker of jobs. Your education should be able to enhance your life, that when you are leaving school, you are not thinking of going to work for somebody, but you are thinking of, right, having your own company or creating your own company so that you will be an employer of labor. But that's not what we have in the educational sector. That is not what we have in our educational system. Our educational system produces people who will come out and be dependent, right, and lean on other people to be able to sustain or to earn a living. That is not the kind of education we need. We need a kind of education that will be able to sustain us as a people without depending on anybody, without going out to look for a job. And these things are doable because they've been done. And so we can do them because, you know what? We have the capacity to do it. Like I said, anything created by God has the capacity to So one of the things that I do these days is telling those who are in school to go beyond what they are being taught in the classroom. You first of all need to know that you have the ability to create, that you have everything it takes, right, to do what every other person is doing around the world. Why? Because you were created by God. And whatever is created by God has the ability to recreate, has the ability to reinvent, has the ability to invent things. The only difference is that these other guys who are doing it have been given the proper training to be able to do that. You are not doing it not because you don't have the ability to do it, but because you've not developed the capacity to do it. And that is why you're not doing it. So if you can go beyond what you're being taught in school to learn other things, remember this, as you are in school, don't be thinking of coming out or graduating to get a job. Be thinking of how you can create jobs, because you can do it. You have what it takes to do it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So be thinking of, what about becoming the CEO of your company instead of going to work under somebody? What about having the mindset that, okay, as I'm going out, as I'm graduating from school, I will be the one to have this company. It's doable, right? We can also help to create the enabling environment. But that will not happen if we do not have the mindset of creating our own companies, of becoming employers of labor. Not those who seek jobs, not those who just want to go out there and work for somebody. I want to work in NNPC. No. Why not think about becoming somebody who will create something as big as NNPC? And there are many benefits that comes with that. We can't go into that right now. So think about it. You have what it takes to become as good as any other person anywhere in the world. Why? Because you've been created by a God who has such abilities and capacity.